The Army's inability to have proactive internal security at all levels will prove to be detrimental, especially as the Army moves more to the cloud and the Internet of Things. Insider threats pose multifaceted problems for the Army. Internal incidents reported in 2018 were mostly attributed to abuse and malicious intent, with a portion of the internal incidents being unintentional acts. External attacks were less than half of all attacks. The majority of external attacks were accredited to web application, software vulnerabilities, and the use of stolen credentials. Over half of known breaches were the result of insider activity in 2018, according to a Forrester report. The threats can be intentional and unintentional. Both circumstances provide similar devastation if proactive and reactive real-time data loss prevention and disaster recovery controls are not employed. The majority of the Army's security controls address external threats to the infrastructure, with very few considerations given to internal threats other than policy-based controls.
The Army is interested in a holistic security solution that can help ensure a zero-trust environment through monitoring and trust assurance at every level. Well, that begs the question, what is zero trust? Well, zero trust is the modern security paradigm that's being widely adopted to provide greater protection against today's threats. The guiding principle for zero trust is never trust, always verify. In other words, assume every part of your network is hostile. Inherent trust is bad. At its simplest, zero trust is a conceptual and architectural model for how security teams should redesign networks into secure micro-perimeters, strengthen data security using obfuscation techniques, limit risks associated with excessive user privileges and access, and dramatically improve security detection and response with analytics and automation. Again, it is a concept. There are no zero trust devices or products. In mid-2018, Wildfire International was awarded the Network Modernization (NetMod) Worldwide Buy No. 4 contract for the replacement of U.S. Army switches. Wildfire International chose Juniper Networks as the partner best suited to address the needs of the Army's Network Modernization Initiative, and has since deployed over 12,000 Juniper switches to both domestic and international bases. However, a switch is only one component required to achieve zero trust.
The number of networks, people, devices, and workflows combines to produce and receive a lot of data, putting the Army at constant risk. One weak link or unattended risk at any level could cause the entire infrastructure to fall. The Army has a need to improve, build, and extend its tactical radius to provide comprehensive cybersecurity for its assets. Cleared and vetted personnel are able to maliciously manipulate information systems and data, usually without detection. The detection of an insider threat is difficult, and, once identified, the distinction between intentional and unintentional can be another challenge. Insiders pose a greater threat because they are closer to the core than external threat agents. Insiders often know the policies and other security controls that are in place to mitigate, detect, deter, and prevent attacks against the Army. Many security policies address insider threats, but there is minimal standardization of controls and vetted tools to address the threat.
In order to provide the truly holistic security solution desired by the U.S. Army, in addition to switches and routers, Wildfire International recommends implementing Juniper Networks Connected Security, which will inherently satisfy the concepts that make up zero trust. Juniper Connected Security is about expanding visibility for the U.S. Army. It's made up of three key building blocks: a sophisticated threat detection engine, a centralized management policy and analytics platform, and the ability to enforce security anywhere and everywhere. A sophisticated threat detection engine detects threats from a variety of sources, both internal and external. It identifies unknown threats with sandboxing, machine learning, and threat deception. With centralized management, policy, and analytics, you can create a consistent policy across workloads, routing and switching, provide a single pane of glass for security management. You can communicate with multi-vendor network elements, You can consolidate threat intelligence from different sources. You can enforce security anywhere and everywhere, and you can protect the network from all angles.
There needs to be a never trust or zero trust, always verify framework, also known as risk management framework, to ensure the Army's cyber readiness. The Army is interested in a holistic security solution that could help ensure a zero trust environment through monitoring and trust assurance at every level. The Army is soliciting industry feedback focused on baked-in RMF processes automated into their technologies. The solution should include micro-segmentation with the goal to reduce internal incidents or insider threats, and the development of a standard tool to identify indicators and defend against insider threats. Additionally, the Army requires assistance with composing tactics, techniques, and procedures to make a more security-aware environment.
The Army is also soliciting industry feedback focused on baked-in risk management framework, or RMF processes, automated into their technologies. Juniper Connected Security, provided by Wildfire International, addresses RMF processes as specified by NIST, therefore extending security to every layer of the network, including switches, routers, and Wi-Fi access points, as well as the firewall layer. By supporting different deployment models ranging from on-premises physical deployments to private clouds such as Juniper Contrail to public clouds such as Microsoft Azure, Juniper Connected Security means the U.S. Army doesn't have to compromise in its pursuit of a robust security platform. The U.S. Army also wants the solution to include micro-segmentation with the goal to reduce internal incidents or insider threats, and the development of a standard tool to identify indicators and defend against insider threats. Well, micro-segmentation is a security practice that aims to reduce the attack surface to a minimum and prevent unauthorized lateral or insider movement. It's designed to give security teams visibility and control to manage east-west traffic and protect against growing cyber threats such as unauthorized access to sensitive information and data theft. Juniper Connected Security, delivered by Wildfire International, provides built-in micro-segmentation functionality that combines next-generation firewall services and full standards-based IPsec encryption with routing and switching in a single high-performance platform to detect and defend against attacks regardless of their origin, internal or external. By implementing the Juniper Connected Security platform provided by Wildfire International, we can uniquely protect the U.S. Army, unifying all elements into one threat-aware network. It dynamically enforces security policies across every point of connection, leaving the Army with a much smaller attack surface. This security solution is open and extensible, and we partner with other leading security vendors to create and deliver the best-of-breed ecosystem. Open APIs enable third-party integration with the platform so you can enforce policy not only on your Juniper network, but on other vendors' equipment that you may be running as well. Given today's advanced threat landscape and modern computing environment, specifically within federal government departments, the time is now to make zero trust a core tenet of your information security strategy. To continue to rely on strengthening perimeter security only is to invite increasingly more successful and frequent cyber attacks on both corporate and cloud environments. By partnering with Wildfire International and learning more about the Juniper Connected Security platform, you'll be well on your way to building the most secure network possible today. For a deep dive into the Juniper Connected Security platform, please visit us in our Birds of Feather virtual media room. Thank you very much.
Find out more at Wildflower.